Hey, how are you? What's going on, everybody? It's Mob Guppy, where the Guppy's the mob. Start a few minutes early. Tampa Tom, first guy in the fish room. Fish room fever here. Let's see here. He's going to go. Tampa Tom is going night fishing. Daryl Deemer in the house. Excellent. Thank you very much for being here. It's I am not to the point of making my own sponge filters. I'm sure that's on its way. I'm sure that's next level stuff. Big J's Fish Keeper in the house. And HC Agua, Valley Fish. How y'all doing? So it's I've ordered filters. I've done stuff, but over the weekend I've been doing culling in my swordtail tanks because I have males developing. And what I'm doing right now is I'm putting them in the 55 because I don't have enough aquarium set up. I'll let them develop over there. The Roebuck Reds, the fries, they are not big enough yet. But I moved over at least 10 fry yesterday over to the big tank, and I had to cull one. I had to say goodbye to one of the fish. She had a bad bent back. Here's how she looked. She was like this, so we had to cull her and say goodbye. And I'll go live a few minutes early. I think people are ready to go. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. So the process is, culling is obviously at some point I would like to sell these, the lines of guppies I've received. I was talking with Doug Gray yesterday, and he was telling me about where to get bags. I haven't gone to the website yet to take a look, but I'll do that in the next few days. I'm months away from selling fish, but I'm watching these things grow up, and it's pretty cool. And it's a great group of people. But the whole portion, especially culling, by the way, gets a bad name. Culling can mean, selling the fish. It can also mean, it's letting the fish swim with turtles or with Oscar fish. There are a number of ways to do it. Here's how I define it: is that there's two levels of culling. Number one is you don't want inferior breeding stock breeding. It's very important in guppies. So it's you see, you took some cull metal black lace to the auction, HC Agua. And hey, Lucas here, Ultimate Fish Keeping Show. All good here, all good. So here's how I look at it is that I'm trying to go for IFGA standard guppies. So that's just my I think that everybody has to have goals, and when they're breeding fish in a type of way, especially trying to be in a hobbyist, they have to have goals of what they're after. And so my goal is obviously to hit those IFGA standards. And so I'm going to be, hey, Melvin, how are you? Welcome to the live stream. I'm going to keep the largest females as breeders and use the best looking males. Now, the two males I received on the two strains I have of swordtail guppies, both those males are incredible. So I'm going to want them to mate with the younger females and for the next generation, just because they are really, really good looking. And especially the first drop, more than likely, the males are not the father of those fry. Now with guppies, it used to be this theory. Hey, Joey, welcome. It used to be. Thank you very much, Big J's. Thumbs up, everybody. Thank you very much for doing it. We've got 12 here, 9 likes, 9 thumbs up. Thank you. So, the idea here is I want the largest and the best looking. So I put these male fish in this 55, which have nano fish in it. So nothing's going to bug them. The leopard danios chase each other around. They don't chase any other fish around. They don't bug the shrimp. They don't do it, nothing. So my goal is, of course, to get the best type of thing. Now, there used to be a theory, and DNA has now changed that. And it's Hobbies. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the Monday Night Drop-In. So here's how this worked, is that it was widely believed for years and years and years. Bob Kaler, how are you? Thank you for the thumbnail comment. I appreciate that, Bob. So, hey, D, down the wormhole in the house. Enjoyed your live stream yesterday. So here's the theory. It used to be, the thinking is that if a female guppy got hit by an inferior guppy, she'd be dropping his fry for her entire breeding life. A lot of the IFGA guys, they are very careful to separate their their virgin females. Steve Quartler is really big on that if you've seen any of his videos. So DNA tests, though, have come out that they like the newer seed they receive, the newer sperm. But you really don't want inferior males being in there, because you want to know it's the best of the best. And as you grow your guppy line and your tanks, etc., you want the best of the best of the best to breed together. And the one thing that you also want to do, and this is one of the negative things of colony breeding, and I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible. That's why I'm putting up more and more aquariums, is that you want to be the master of the ship. And all of a sudden, if you have in a colony tank, you all of a sudden have funny looking guppies show up in a color scheme you're not going for, etc. You don't know where that's coming from. So the process of having this set up in a more regimented way, you can control the genetic future of the line. Now, the interesting thing about and I've pointed this out a little bit in my videos with the single sword. Alan Bias, who's the sword-tailed guppy. Oh, cool. You're starting a season 3. Melvin's starting season 3, everybody. That's great. So here's how this, what's interesting. It comes from Alan Bias. He's a college professor. I think he is a geneticist. He's a pretty smart guy. He likes the idea of some genetic diversity in his lines. What I have noticed is that the fry on both strains of swordtails, I have some that are gold bodies, and I have some that are that are gray bodies. My goal here is to get it to where one strain is just all gray bodies and one strain is all gold bodies. That's the goal. That's my swordtail goal. So that is exactly what I'm trying to accomplish. By the way, Skull, everybody. They lost yesterday. So the process, wow, 15 in here, 16. Fantastic, gang. 11 thumbs up. That's great. So what I'm trying to do is that one line I want to be gray bodied, the other line I want to be gold bodied. And that's essentially what I'm going to go and develop around. That's what I'm going in. So, and the Roebuck Reds, received Roebuck Reds, I'm guessing about 6 weeks ago. I have a ton of fry. And Doug Ray sent me a real small, hey, loaves and fishes, welcome to the live stream. Enjoy while you lurk. And so Doug Ray sent me an extra couple. And I asked for, an extra male and an extra female, which he got to me. And then he gave me another female, but was really young. Well, she's huge now. She's really big. She's almost as big as the other females. So I'm pretty excited about that. I've got Roebuck Red Fry in both tanks. They look fantastic. The one thing I have to do is I'm going to have to start hatching baby brine shrimp a couple of times a day, or at least instead of 7 times a week, turn it into 9 to 13 times, 9 to 13 somewhere in there. I don't have to do both meals all the time, or 2 meals of the. And I try to feed them at least 3 to 4 times a day. I like to get 5s, and I do relatively small feedings, except for the baby brine shrimp, which I give them a ton, and they gorge themselves on it. So that's kind of neat. I'm enjoying that. So that's sort of my theory. So the culling, I've moved all these males, and I saw more. Hey, New England Endler, welcome. And yeah, it's 130 endlers. Your killifish is well fed. Yeah, and the deal is with guppies, if you're doing it right, you're gonna have or endlers, you're gonna have way more than you know what to do with. So that's the goal, is to have so many. Bolo's here, my fish room companion. He's not feeling well. I gave him his stomach medicine, and he picked something up. I have some neighbors not far from me. They have little kids who are running around. Hey, Don Gallagher, welcome. And thank you very much. I'll start now. He picked up and ate like a chip or something the other day, and his stomach's been bugging him. He doesn't want to eat anything. Oh, he wants to get down. Oh, hold on. There we go. He is down on the floor doing what he likes to do. So his stomach is bugging him. So I gave him his anti-diarrhea medicine, a couple of hours ago, and his stomach's not making news. Hey, Ambus Aquatics in the house. How are ya? Yeah, poor Bolo. He's not doing well. It's he's a good little guy though. He's he's so I may have to give him a little more of this. I'm working early this week. I'm working the early shift, at least today and tomorrow, and then Friday. So I have to be at the office at like 6 a.m. So I'm going to bed really early. And this time change thing, it's pure evil. I'll say this over and over again until everybody believes me. It's pure evil time change. And falling back is just as bad as springing forward, in my opinion. Just as bad. So there, I've said it. I've declared it. And so tomorrow, when I get home from work, since I'm going to work early, I leave early. Isn't that a good thing? So I'm going to, I have to move some stuff around to get ready for my new fish rack. One of my coworkers is going to come over on, probably on Wednesday or Thursday and help me set that up. So I'm all about that. I am all about it. And decreed it. It's a Jordan's Fish Room. Welcome. Yeah. Well, yeah, the deal is with Bolo. Oh, he wants to come back up. He eats like a cat. So I have food in front of him at all times. And he very rarely eats unless I'm here. So if I get here at, he'll eat in front of me. Well, he hasn't eaten anything. I have, in fact, right here, I have his food dish right next to me and him. This is his medicine, which he normally eats down and chomps down real quick. Hasn't touched it. I've tried to get him to eat a couple of his favorite treats. He's not eaten nothing. So I'll hook him up with some more diarrhea medicine after we do the live stream. I'll take him for a walk and hopefully whatever's going on. But I've heard his stomach making noises, gurgling noises. By the way, I had my flu shot today. There we go. Went to Walgreens, got the flu shot, and so I believe in vaccines. It hasn't made me autistic or artistic. You see the episode of South Park, people, where Cartman wouldn't get shots because it was going to make him artistic. So yeah, no, Bob, you're absolutely right. It's just awful, absolutely awful. Yeah, your Steelers won, Melvin. That was a heck of a game. Yeah, he's making noises right now. It's just like he's passing gas a little bit. So I'll give him more of the diarrhea medicine since we're done. Doug Gray in the house? Hey! Yeah, you came in on a diarrhea discussion. We pretty much discuss everything in this live stream. Well, by the way, I donated my extra individually wrapped prunes to a food shelf. But I have enough extras that I brought more around the office and put them on people's desks. Petzotics, welcome to the live stream. 18 here, 13 likes. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys. It's really, really cool. So that's the deal. So I've got to get my fish room, the new fish tank set up. I'm going to a fish auction on it's actually a table sale, and I'm trying to figure out how to join this aquarium club because it's an hour away and might as well just join it. And Pam, 54 Punchy in the house, how are you? I think all of us are pretty good Petzotics. I think we got a good crew. Hey, thank you very much, Don Gallagher. And we've got a good crew here, and which I really appreciate having you all here. So I'm like on their thing, and I like hit their Facebook page saying, "Do you guys have a website? Can I join? Can I give you some money? Do you want my money? Can I join, or do I have to, go and do, is there a hazing ritual to join this aquarium club?" And I'll tell you, and I know Doug Gray's a Guppy guy with an IFGA member. The St. Louis people, I reached out to them and said, "Hey, I would like to join. Can I write you a check or something? Can I give you some money?" If they needed a check, you know what I was going to end up having to do? Go to Walmart and get a check for 90 cents because I haven't had a checkbook in 15 years, maybe even 20 years. I don't use them. So, it's everything through debit, and I do most of my, except for grocery stuff, I do all my purchases online for the most part. I hate the time change. So I apologize. So the process, so I hit these people up saying, "Hey, how can I do it?" Let's see if they wrote me back. So I wrote to their Facebook club, the traditional aquarium club, and asked about joining. So let's see if I got a reply on that. Yeah, so they're doing the fall swap meet this weekend. I'm very excited about that, and looking forward to picking up some pleco caves. And I'm looking for a long finned, maybe a couple of long fin. It's long. Oh, there's an actual application. You see, you have to go and fill out an application to be a member of this club, which is fantastic. It's you're not French, are you? I'm sorry, I am. And it's oh, I got an email from Doug Ray. Okay, hold on a second here. Doug, were you saying that to me? Let's see. Let's see here. While we're here and going through right from all of that sort of stuff. Okay, let me go over to the Mobb Guppy account. And yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah, a very nice. That's a very nice. A very nice pick, Doug. I appreciate that. And I'll look at the YouTube video in a little bit. So there's a swap in Springfield, Missouri, the traditional aquarium club, and there's an auction the next day in St. Louis, but St. Louis is about 5 hours away from here, and yes, that was a very nice guppy. And I appreciate that, Doug. I look forward to seeing more of the guppy. So here's the deal: is that on Saturday, do I really want to drive to St. Louis? I would. Hey, Rob Bull in the house. What's up? Great having you here. 19 in here, 15 big thumbs up. Thank you guys very much. And that is, there's no alcohol in that. That is a Diet Sprite. And they didn't pay me for that plug. So yeah, so it's like at noon or 1 o'clock. You get up there. I have to bring my dog with me and put him in daycare in St. Louis, and go there and get what I need to get, and then drive back. And I'm just not going to do it. I'll do the one on Saturday. Springfield's about an hour away from here, so it's not that far away. So I can go over and see if I can find what I'm looking for, and then head on back. And but the long fin super reds, that's what I'm after. And when I get these 10s up, I'm going to put a little bit of substrate in several of them, because most of the guppy tanks, a lot of the IFGA guys just do bare bottom. Some don't do plants, some do plants. I do plants, and now I'm thinking that may be a bad idea. And just because they're, it's they hide the babies really well. That's the positive thing. All right, so yeah, so I got a tip off from Doug and from a couple other people about places for pleco caves. Most of people seem to be I seem to have a problem finding people who have them. So I'm going to go and hopefully find. I would like to get 3 or 4 pleco caves, and I would like to get 1 or 2 longfin super reds. Now I have a gift certificate for the wet spot. that I got at the previous auction, I paid like 15 for a 25, and I could get a super red, longfin super red from them. And I may do that, but I'd like to get one or two of those and see if I can get some of those. And when I start getting some stuff, Chewy can watch Bolo for me. You see, there. Thanks, Chewy. I appreciate it. Yeah, Bolo's kind of he's a fun little guy. He'll just want to go on that trip. He, I don't mind taking him to do, on the road, unless he has the diarrhea stuff, which he has now, and or a potential diarrhea. 20 in the house. Holy capoli! Thank you, gang. I really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing it out and all that sort of stuff and giving the big thumbs up. That helps so much. I really appreciate it. So, so the St. Louis thing is probably gonna be a much bigger deal, but I just don't think I can do it, so I'm not going to. I would like to go. I would like to go hit one of those. Now, IFGA, the St. Louis Gateway Guppy Club. I reached out to their guy and said, "Hey, can I join?" And I'm an IFGA member. Can I join? And I've never heard. He goes, "Well, we have a guy who does that for us. We don't have dues, but I'll have him get a hold of you." Okay. Never hear from the guy. So I write that one guy back saying, "Hey, how are you? I'm really in," and I didn't hear back from him. So I have a feeling I'm gonna have to enter some fish in their show and go up there and force myself on them, which I can do. I'm one of those people that can be very low key, very background, very shy, and then I can be the guy who's wearing the lampshade on my head. And that's not even involving alcohol. It's just I can be, it's like an either or sort of thing. So, and so it's just but I would like to join that up. And that is St. Louis for you, though. Either you are in or you are out. Just ask Ed. Okay, I'll do that. I'll find this all out. I'll join. I'll smile. I'll go and get all that sort of stuff. Well, that's good. That's good to know, Bob and Chewy. I really appreciate that. So the yeah, Bolo's now he really wants to. My dog is really holding on to me today. He's not getting, normally he'll disappear for an hour or two. Not the last couple of days. This weekend I was home a lot and he was in my, he was following me around like so much. So let's see here. So I'm going to go and I have something arriving that's going to help me murder snails. So we'll do a video on that coming up. And so I'm looking forward to that arrival from our good friend Logan at Ambist Aquatics, who is here, by the way, or at least was. So that's going to be arriving in the next day or so here, which is very cool. So I'm very excited about that. And so I can go and see the assault of the vicious beasts that are going to be arriving. Yeah, they're not that vicious. But they're good beasts nonetheless. So I'm looking forward to that very, very much. And so I can't wait to tell you guys about what I have coming. So in fact, I'm going to do the thing right now. My texter may go off because I got put in my number, so I get the text updates because I do not get mail at my home. I have another address mainly because the townhouse complex I'm in does not have uh, does not have uh, an office here. My past apartment complex, they had an office that was there, And so if I wasn't around, packages could be dropped off there. Here they don't, so I have a mailbox where I get my mail delivered, which works out perfectly. And so, as soon as I get that little alert on my that text alert, I can zip over and pick it up. I hit it a couple of times, sometimes twice a day. Yeah, it's Doug Gray, I hate to tell you this, I am in the witness protection program. And involved Lefty the Nose from Philadelphia and his entanglement with Carmine from Staten Island. So it's when I moved, I've moved across the country a couple of times. And my standard operating procedure is because, you interview for the job and then you're moving there. Well, I don't want my mail sent to the office. I have no desire for people to sit there and go, huh, this guy gets fish stuff. This guy, I don't want anybody to, none of their business. So I always get, uh, they hired me and then they wanted me to come back up to meet the staff before I started. So when I came back up, I got a mailbox at the UPS store, and that's where I do mine. And it's real convenient. It's real close to the office, and so that's what I do. So dealing with dealing with my snail eradication issues and also dealing with the other thing I'd really like to find, and I got this at the last fish auction, is Java moss. And I got like two separate things of Java moss. One of them doesn't really fit with the guppies because it was attached to a huge lava rock. I put that in the 55, and the shrimp are hiding underneath it. And I'm hoping that's where all my shrimplets are hiding out. So it's kind of exciting about that. Um, it's I have one tank left. I didn't get that done today. I have my Amica Splendens, and I'll do a video on that. They have grown exponentially. They're like 3 times the size of when I got them. So, and they're beginning to do breeding behavior. But I've read and I've seen videos and stuff like that that the male will get his breeding colors, and that they have. Yeah, I have a couple that are getting more colors, but I wouldn't necessarily think that they have breeding colors yet. So that's sort of the deal there. Get a sip of this. Um, so that's sort of the deal. So I'm looking forward to going to the swap meet, and hopefully I can find those few things I need. Extra plants are always good, and then I'll go through and the last one I went to, the fish auction I went to, the Northwest Arkansas Aquarium Society. They were actually auctioning off a box of used heaters, and I'm going, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. As I've confessed here before, it's new. It has to be new uh, heaters for me. I just don't trust them. I just figure I'll keep new ones are my deal. And if they've been up running for a year or two and I have to unplug them, I just get rid of them. Yeah, Pam is totally. I think if there's any advice that you guys can take from me, yes, Doug, I'm elitist. Yes, it's and Melvin, and by the way, the if you've not had the Incredible Whopper, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty good actually. I've had it a couple of times, 3 times. It's pretty good. Yeah, That's the deal. I'm by nature sort of a polar bear. I'm, from Minnesota. I'm, yeah, I need to watch that Greg Sage fish room tour. Yeah, I mean, again, this guy. I did find that he is selling pleco caves. I'll probably have to get a couple from him because he's great. He handles these rare fish. He's selectively bred some of these rare fish. Okay, so Doug, Doug, on your heating the room in your home, do you have a separate central unit for this, or do you use a space heater? And I think there's a heater pads. They adhere to the underneath outside of the tanks to heat them. That actually would be pretty cool. I'll tell you what, Bob Kaler, is that when you look at pleco caves, none of them are cheap. I mean, it's a heck of a side hustle. And if I could build, if I was good at pottery, all that sort of stuff, I'd be for there. Now, I don't need, at least where I'm at right now. Oh, you're using the watering stakes? Yeah, maybe that's what I have to do. I should go to Home Depot or Lowe's and go from there. Yeah, Doug, I'm sorry, it's a confession I had to make. I'm not big into pottery. The whole kiln thing and the and by the way, when you're making pottery for your plecos, is it a lot like that scene from the movie Ghost? Where Demi Moore is there, just creating the thing and then tossing it in the kiln and then covering it and stuff. It's the whole kiln thing. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive indeed. So that's yeah, again, that's just something I've missed out on. Oh, that Greg Sage did that. Bob Killer, a study on building his own, what the plecos liked, and yes, exactly right, Bob Kaler. No matter what anyone says, it wasn't an erotic love scene featuring clay. It was the making of pleco tanks or pleco caves, which is a sensual and enjoyable activity. Yeah, Kaler, you have his green dragons. They're pretty nifty. It's they're pretty neat. They're pretty neat fish. Oh, really? In a cichlid rock? And is that one of those carved out ones in the middle, Doug? So yeah, it's pretty neat. I have a question for everybody who's here in the chat. When you watch a live stream, do you watch them on your phone or on a tablet or on a laptop slash desktop? Just curious. Oh, if you watch on your phone, Big J's, Loaves and Fishes on the phone, Fish Room Fever, any and all. No, that's cool. Desktop for Doug, Chewy for computer system, Bob Kaler desktop if possible, phone always working your fish room, Ambus. Don Gallagher's always on his phone, desktop. Hi, Cheryl Jones, I haven't seen you yet. Hey, how are you? Let's see. Fish Room Fever, primarily phone. Valley Fish, watch video and something for fun, PC. And Rob Bull TV desktop. I watch again, it's like if I'm like moving around the fish room, I'll put it on my phone. I do it mainly on my laptop. If I'm home and I'm not running around, unless I'm lurking, I do it on my laptop most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. But if I'm outside, at dinner, I went out for my birthday dinner the other night. My birthday was last week, and you know what I did? I watched. I watched. In fact, I'll tell you which one I watched because I had to come home and actually comment upon it later. I watched a Doug Gray video on his axolotls. He has baby axolotls, and he had the eggs type of thing. So there I'm out waiting for my food to arrive. Yeah, you know what? I'm checking out a fish tube video. That's the type of guy I am. Pretty exciting. And so that's cool to see where everybody is watching videos. It's phones have become it's like my phone. I have a Samsung, which which is pretty slick. I like it very, very much. Let's see. This text I got from the you guys saw what that one's about. I told you about it as it happened. But I pretty much enjoy it. I think it does a pretty bang up job. So I appreciate that. And Doug Gray says, I like that Doug Gray guy. He's funny. And by the way, that's all good. Video about using a fire pit, no kiln. Going to try it for fun sometimes. Yeah, see, there you go. And it's the portable computer that I've sort of had my eye on. I just haven't gotten one. Is the Surface, because I went and saw them at the mall. They're so light, and you can pretty much do everything with them. Where an iPad, they're a little heavier, and you have to buy the extra thing for the keyboard and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, well, here's the deal. Doug Gray's talking about his fish tanks are dirty. Let me tell you, if your fish tanks aren't dirty, it's you're one of those. I've been in a couple of these fish rooms where the thing is are spotless. I mean, I salute those guys. I think no matter what, you can have really healthy tanks, and they're not necessarily have to be perfectly pristine. My tanks look pretty good for the most part, but it's they're certainly not perfect. Certainly not perfect. So that's sort of the deal there. So let's see here. You guys want to check in on Bolo? Let's see how he's doing here. See, what a good puppy. Not feeling well. Yeah. So it's Lumpy Dog isn't here, so he's missing out on the fun with Bolo. So yeah, so that's kind of fun. I'm enjoying. I watched a video today when I got home on how to breed celestial pearl danios. I have them in my 55. I would give that a shot. Give them a shot to see if I can have some baby celestial pearls. I think that'd be kind of neat to try. But I think I have to get vinegar eels or micro worms before that. So we'll go and do that. Yeah, I hope Bolo feels better and gets over the squirts as well. I hopefully he doesn't have a ton because he has a lot of hair, and it pretty much means I have to wash him. I have to give him a bath. So I'm hoping he doesn't have the squirts at all. I'm hoping the medicine that I gave him preemptively is going to help out the deal. So but I do have some good shampoo, and he's kind of I actually have an appointment for him on Friday to go get a bath and get all brushed out because he's shedding and he's having big clumps of hair fall out right now, and just get everything all cleaned out and brushed out by a professional, not by me. It's all good. So we'll get that set up. So yeah, so that's sort of the deal with what's going on with the culls and getting everything organized. It's watching how some of the, and by the way, if you've not here's a question for everybody here. I know the answer for Doug Gray, but I how many of you are a member of a local fish club or a cichlid club, the Live Bear Association, Guppy Club? How many of you are members of a group like that? Any group having to do with fish? It's I'm interested, because it's just connecting and being in the hobby and that sort of stuff. I think it's kind of a neat thing. So I'd love to see how many of you are. Let's see here. Nothing near you. Yeah, Fish Room Fever. Here's the deal. I'm a member of the IFGA and the American Live Bear Association, and that's certainly not near me. But you get great information from those groups, so that's helpful. And the GPAS Portland. It's how far away are you from Portland, Ambist? And okay, and Chewy's a member of a club in Boston and clubs in Asia. I'm a member of the Kansas City Club. Oh, you're 2 hours away from Portland. Yeah, it's now you see you got a swap coming up, Bob Kaler. That's a good time. That's a good time. Yeah, the ALA, they have a lot of stuff going on. They have a lot of interesting things. I've not hit one of the big conventions. I've not hit um, the Aquatic Experience or Aquashella. Next year, I'll try to do Aquashella. If they're still in Dallas and Chicago, I'm 6 hours away from Dallas, 8, 9 hours away from Chicago. My sister lives in Chicago, so I can go and spend a couple of days, see her and her fam. And depending if she has a child at home, her children live anywhere, but she has two on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. So she has two in college and one in the work of life. He's in DC, so that's kind of neat. And yeah, ALA convention. You're in Newark, New Jersey, not too far away from Secaucus, where Aquatic Experience was. And I Guys were selling bags of fish out of their rooms, much like college kids selling weed in the 80s. That's funny. And yeah, my phone's is a Samsung Galaxy. I have the latest one. For years I had not had the latest phone, and so I went and got the latest one earlier this year, and I'm so happy I did it. This phone does everything, except it does not make soup, and delicious soup is always good. And I really appreciate that. We also have, when I go to this club meeting, I'm going to find out about that. I'll take a look at the application process. They probably want to make sure, I'm not a felon or anything, and I'm not. I want to make sure last time, they'll probably ask me the last time I had, Integrity Farms. That's right. Integrity. I've got guppies with integrity. And for those of you who have not seen the South Park episodes this season, it's pretty funny. And integrity burgers. Integrity fish. When you want your fish with a little bit of integrity, it's integrity fish. South Park, Colorado. And yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I really enjoy that. That show is so funny. And this season has been really, really good. I mean, it's been I've appreciated that. I'm not much of a it's for instance, on the TV over here, I don't even have the game on. I'll watch the game before I go to sleep. I have the Science Channel. How the Universe Works is on. So that's the type of stuff. Hey, the fish room towel is towely. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm gonna have to call it from now on. My fish room towel. Everyone needs to have, and and if you don't have a fish room towel, you need one. And here's where I get my fish room towels. I get them from Goodwill or Salvation Army. I go in there, I buy towels, and then I, bleach them good and wash them good with hot water. The fish room towel is a pretty important thing. And so, you know, and so I'm going to get the rack this week, order the heaters, order the lights. The filters should be here. They were shipped from Hong Kong, and they arrived in the United States on Saturday. So my guess is I'll have them here. They haven't gone through customs yet. My guess is I'll have them here by the end of next week. So I'll be ready to get those aquariums up and running. So that'll be fun, and then set up new breeder trios, and because that's what I need to do. And when I go to the traditional aquarium club this weekend, I am going to stop by Petco and pick up a couple more 10-gallon aquariums. So that's one of the things that I'm going to go out and pick up. So I look forward to that very, very much. And also, Fishy Biz Aquatics has his own fish room towels. See, there you go. I guess I could do that. I've not started the merch thing yet, and I need to get stickers. It's I've gotten stickers from a lot of people. I've got to get a hold of Jason at Jadron Aquatics and get my little logo thing put together, and stickers, so I can mail out stickers to everybody. And I think that's important. I think by the way, the fish room cult with stickers. Who started that? Is very, very cool. It's it's a great idea, but who started the whole stickers thing? Where did that begin? because it's sort of a sort of a status symbol that you have your own stickers. In fact, I still have my stickers over here. No, I think I saw. Hold on. No, I put those in. I already put those, set those up with the other stickers. Did Corey start it with Aquarium Co-op? He very well could have. Yeah, I don't put stickers on my tanks either, Doug. I just think it's kind of a neat thing that we collect each other's stickers. So that's and it's just a lot of people do it. So there you go. Right. Uh, I was up. Well, my alarm was at 4:30 this morning, but you know who? My little fish room buddy here woke me up at 4. So, and I have to get up at 4:30 tomorrow morning. So, we'll go to the top of the hour, and we'll go from there. Yeah, that's I don't put stickers on anything. What I am going to get when I get into my house, a permanent thing, I'm going to get one of those, you know, uh, one of these boards where you can stick, where you can put the pin in, and I'm just going to set that up with all the different stickers from all the different places. And so our buddy Michael's Fish Room tried to order Subarus from Hot Wheels, and they came back with 3 wheels and ruined his idea of personal, Subarus. Yeah, you see, there you go. Corkboard, exactly, not Nola Jane Fish Rich. See, I'm tired. My mind is not going. It's not firing on all cylinders. I also had to take. I ran out of Zyrtec, and probably about 3 hours ago, I took a Benadryl. And if you know anything about Benadryl, it pretty much is like a little sleepy pill. Knocks you out right away. So that's part of the fun of that. And yeah, well, it's it's funny. It's like the kids. I have some young nieces and nephews, who are like grade school age, and they're all about the preschool and the younger, school age kids. They're all about stickers. You give them a sticker, it's like the best thing in the entire world. They love it. So, and if you're a Fish Fam member, what do you love? Stickers. So it's and Corey may have started that. 17 here, 20 likes. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And really enjoy that very much. I guess the other thing I think that's pretty much what I have going on here. Gang, I want to thank you guys very much. It's been an hour. Let's get out of here, and I'm going to get some sleep, and I'll try to join Bob Steenfot for a little bit, and I'll probably just sort of set it up, and monster stickers. Hey, thank you very much, Dee, for being here, and thank you all for being participants or lurkers in tonight's live stream. I really appreciate it. We will see you with a new video on Wednesday and Saturday night. Our normal Saturday night hangout will be going on normal time because I'll be back from and I'll talk about the auction. And then I'm going to create, or the table sale. I'm going to swap meet. I'm going to take, I'll take a video of that on Saturday. So I'll have a lot of footage that I'll share probably next week in a video. So again, thanks for watching Mob Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob. Join the mob today. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell. Thank you very much.